Guys, did you know Eevee add a shadow catcher? It's not true, but we can make one. Let's do it. Okay guys, welcome. I'm Schillem, welcome to the Gift of Art, and today I have a small tip for you, and it's about how to make a shadow catcher. Before we make the shadow catcher, I just want to say a big thank to Louis du Mont. He's an artist that gave me, let me use his model for the tutorial, and I'm really grateful for that. If you want to find him and follow him, I'm gonna post some link on the description and you can follow him. I really recommend you to do it. Guys, this tutorial isn't aimed for beginners, it's aimed for intermediate level and advanced users, so I'm gonna go pretty fast. I'm not gonna explain a lot of the things that I'm going to do, and we're just gonna go through it and make it pretty fast because I don't want to waste your time, even though I just talked for super long. Now let's jump into the tutorial and do it for real. Okay guys, once we are in Blender, all you need to do is add a plane under your subject and add some lights. That's all you need to do, and like this we're going to be able to start the tutorial and add some shadows. We're just going to add a material to it, and we're going to call it a shadow catcher. Okay, now that we have the shadow catcher, we need to enable one more feature. It's here in the option of the material. Here in the option of the material, if we go here, we can enable the alpha, and we're gonna set it to alpha blend and disable the back facing. We're gonna remove this node. We're not gonna need it. We're gonna need actually a diffuse, if I can find it, diffuse, and a transparent shader. So we're gonna need to mix them. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna be able to plug this, and we're gonna set the diffuse to black. The reason why it is black, it's because the diffuse is gonna act as our shadow. Okay, now we need to add something in the factor that is going to play with the transparency of the shadow, and that's what we're going to do. So we're gonna add one shader that is going to be another diffuse and a converter shader to RGB. We're gonna make this diffuse totally white. We just need to make sure that it's totally white, and we can preview the shader. Currently it's still like a basic diffuse shader, but we do not want the color information of the lights. We only want the shadow information. So what we're gonna do with this is add a new RGB to black and white, and like this we're gonna have values that are only shadow or light information without the color. I'm gonna add a gamma. The gamma is just for having more control. So if we go in color, we're gonna have gamma. The gamma is just gonna help us to have some control over the lights. It's just something about that. If we increase the gamma, we're gonna be able to have a bit more value. Contrast, we could say. There it is. And I'm gonna add a color ramp as well, so it's gonna play as our level, and as well as we can limit the values of the lamp of the actual gamma to limit everything to 1 and 0. So now we can plug this into the factor and visualize this, and as you can see, the shadows now are dark, and whatever is the light is basically transparent. And we can play with the gamma to make everything a bit more subtle, not that hard. We can play a bit more with this if we want, whatever. Now we only have one more problem with all of this, hey my friend, is that currently all of the edge of the plane is visible because of the shadows, because like I said, it's not only a shadow catcher, it catches as well the light. We have the light information, so behind this lamp we don't have any lights, and behind the lights, basically if there's no lights, it's a shadow. That's the way it's interpreting. That is the way that it's seeing it. My bad English. So let's add one more. Let's add another part to this shader. So what we're gonna do is add a texture, gradient texture. If we can find it, press Ctrl T. We're gonna get rid of this node. We're gonna plug the object and switch to quad sphere, and we're gonna preview it. Now it's all white. That's good. That's totally good for now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a color mix here, and we're gonna add a value. If we can select the value, there it is. And we're gonna set everything to multiply all the way. So with this value, we're gonna be able to play with the scale of our gradient, which is great. And we're gonna use a color ramp, or we could use a gamma if we want as well. That's gonna be way easier. So the lower the gamma are, and the sharper it's gonna be. So that's pretty good. And we're going to select add another mix. I'm just gonna duplicate the one that we do have over there. Connect this one here, so everything that is going to be white from this node is going to be visible for the shadow, and everything outside of it is going to be transparent. So we're going to connect, if my blender doesn't want to crash. So we're going to connect this to the factor and connect this into the socket right there, and we can actually make it not as intense, and we can plug it. So you can see we have a shadow catcher. Currently the gradient is a bit too small, so we're gonna make it a bit bigger, and we're gonna play with this and make it quite big. So now we can see some of the shadows. They are not super hard, so we can play with it, make them a bit more darker with this. It's a bit more darker, and the brighter values not too bright, and we can play with this as well to limit everything. Well, now we have a shadow catcher, so that's pretty good. So example, if we go back to the world, mix the world background, we can select and choose whatever color that we want, and now we have a nice shadow catcher, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay guys, the video is over. I hope it was super useful for you. And if you want, you can like, follow, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just, you know, if you watch it and it was useful for you, I'm grateful for that. Now it is time for me to go and do some other stuff and work and edit the video. Anyway, okay guys, it's Schillem. I hope I was a gift for you today, and see ya. Let's just record the tutorial. That would be just way easier if I do that.